Can you describe to me what your depression felt like and why you think it happened?
I didn't understand. Like, you feel like you've been stabbed, but there's no knife to take out.
When you feel and you don't understand it, that's when you kind of can lean into maybe like medicating and like drinking too much or whatever.
There's a lot of nights I could have fucking died. It's hard.
It's hard, right?
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Jessie Reyez, and I am in great company. Hey, this is Jessie Reyez.
Here with the homie Jessie Reyez. The incredible Jessie Reyez.
Talk about Eminem.
A fucking legend.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh
legend.
my God. I used to rap.
Yeah?
No, man.
Gifts?
But no, I used to rap Mockingbird the whole time.
Everything's gonna be alright.
How should
Shit.
You also had a moment where a producer tried to take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly brave to do that.
There's a lot of fear involved. So many people don't believe women. But then when women came forward, it was even more difficult because that fear turned to guilt. Because I
find work-life balance the hardest thing. This is what I find the hardest thing at the moment. Like to juggle family, work, relationship, friendships. I'm way off at the moment. And it feels like a lot of my energy is just going into work.
Yeah.
Which actually also doesn't make it that fun sometimes, because when work becomes work...
Yeah, what's your escape?
It's not as fun.
Mm-mm.
Do you feel like that a lot?
Not a lot anymore. I used to feel like that often. And then 2020 kind of reset me. Mm-hmm. And I started making more of an effort to enjoy my life more. Like, for years, I kind of just had my head down and I'd been hustling like a motherfucker. And I also didn't like grow up rich or anything. So when I started making money, I had this weird relationship with success where I didn't want to look at my bank account. I just wanted to keep working. I wanted to keep working. And 2020 hit, forced me to stop working, and I kind of looked around and realized that I'd given up so many years of my life and hadn't reaped the benefits of or like eaten the fruit that I'd worked so hard for. I didn't even like bit a strawberry, you know? So
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I started eating some fruits 2020. It was nice.
When you say fruits, is that metaphorical? Is actually eating fruits? Or was it more like you bought like a slide? Yeah.
I bought a truck.
Yeah, you bought a truck.
I bought a truck.
And a Lamborghini. What do you
No
do?
Lamborghini. It's a ghetto ass truck. I ain't gonna tell you the mark just in case, because I got some stalkers that be trimming. But it's a nice little truck. And I spend a lot of time up north now. I'm a lot better with my off time. You know, hustle culture, it makes you feel guilty for that. So you really have to set boundaries and make sure you're working when you have to work, so that you could silence any guilt that might come from that. Because you only feel guilty when you half-ass it. But if you've been fucking sweating and now it's time to rest, you have to rest in order to work that hard, because life is about this.
Life is about that. I always said life is like a heart monitor, goes up and down. If it's flatlining, you're dead. It has to do this, boom, boom, the whole time. And I think so many people who are going to be listening to this will relate to you with that, where it's like this like constant treadmill that we're on, and it's like, and then as soon as we stop doing it, I had this thing recently, which is like where I suddenly realized that like there were clouds. And there was like blue sky, and like there were flowers and there were trees, and I just I'd been so down and everything that I hadn't noticed that there was this world going on around me that was so beautiful. And so I'm trying to put my head up a little bit more.
Metaphorically?
Yeah, I think so. I just hadn't noticed anything, which wasn't good.
Yeah.
Do you think you've always been a workaholic?
Yeah.
Ever since you were a kid?
Ever since I was a kid. I had a front row seat. My parents have very, very like admirable work ethic, and it bled into me. Mind you, I didn't always have the best relationship with authority, so my work ethic didn't really have a chance to shine up until I was in charge of my own shit, and up until I was doing what I absolutely loved, which is music. So I've always had great work ethic, but had a bit of issues with authority.
Well, give it to me. What do you mean a little bit?
I just fired a few times, more than a few. Fired several.
How many times do you think you've been fired?
Oh, I can't count anymore. Over 6.
You've been fired 6 times?
Yeah. That's how I knew that I was like, oh, I'm destined for this, because everything else would have been a fucking failure. Everything else would have been a fucking failure. But yeah, Yeah.
What were you fired for?
I had dance three times out of the week, and I dance practice got canceled, but I had those in the schedule that I couldn't work those days. I was like, fuck that, I got a day off. But then, your frontal lobe isn't really developed, and I got hungry, and I was like, fuck. And that's the closest store to my house because I was a cashier there. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to slide in, slide out. Maybe nobody will see me. And then I got the bright idea of going in with rollerblades because I was like, if I could go in rollerblades and get out and go in the fast track lane, there's more of a chance of me being successful. And boy, was it not. Like, fuck. I got a call later that day, and she called me and she was like, Jessie, it doesn't really seem like you want to work here. And I was like, you're right. And that was how the conversation ended.
And that's how it started.
And that's how it ended. Yeah. And then I pretty much got fired, but willingly fired. That was one of them. And then the other one, I was 14, I think. And I was working. I used to have multiple jobs all at the same time. I was working at Wildwater Kingdom, which is a water park in Toronto. It was my second year working there. I ended up working there 4 years, all through high school. I would work there in the summers because I could get free funnel cakes and I could get free access to the water park. So I was like, money, this is great. Cool with everybody. Management loved me. And this fucking lady comes up to me. I'm at the funnel cake stop, and she's with her fucking loud ass kid. And she said something. She's like, wanted something. She's yelling at her kid. And then she starts yelling at me. She's like, I want this. And I was like, okay. I'm like, it's going to be $10. Like, I told her how much it was. And this fucking bitch took out her motherfucking cash and threw it.
Oh my God.
And she threw it at me. She didn't throw it at me. She threw it on the table, but towards me. And I caught the disrespect. And I was like, so I took the money and I didn't get her fucking change. And I'm like, here's your change. And I threw it back because I was petty. Because I was young and petty with an underdeveloped frontal lobe. And I threw it, and this lady lost her fucking mind. She started cussing like crazy. Like she had a megaphone, but all she had was lungs. And she's going off. And then
she had a megaphone, all she had was lungs.
Her kid's just watching. And then I'm cussing back.
Yeah.
She's significantly bigger than me. This lady's at least a foot bigger, at least like 40 pounds heavier.
Uh-huh.
She's a grown woman, and I'm a little teenager. But I'm loudmouth. So I'm cussing back at her. I'm like, oh no, I'm cussing back because we're eye to eye. And this lady gets up and she stands up on the fucking counter. And now she's cussing down at me. And I'm like, you bitch. And I'm like, I'm still cussing at her. And everyone's like, holy shit. And she looks like she's about to jump on me. Mind you, she's bigger than me. So I had no choice. So I back up and we're at the funnel cake. Do you know what funnel cakes are? No. So they're like deep fried dough.
Okay. Like a donut.
Kind of, yeah. Like a waffle that's been shot at. It's just got a lot of holes. So that's what it looks like, right? So we're in a funnel.
That description. It's like a donut, like a waffle that's been shot at. Yeah. Okay.
So then I back up.
Are they good?
They're fire. That's why I work there, because they're so good. They're cracked. That shit is cracked. But anyways, I back up, and the only thing I could grab was one of the frying pans, because it was in there with the fucking
Get out of here.
cake.
No, you didn't.
I swear. But then everything didn't. It sounds like it's about to get heated. There's about to be a lot of carnage, but no. I grabbed the frying pan and I lifted up to go, and then everybody got in between us then, because then they realized what the fuck was gonna happen, and then they pulled us apart. And they kicked her ass out of the park, and she's eating her fucking funnel cake as she's walking out with her kid. And then my management comes by and they reprimand me, like, Jessie, like, how could you? Like, what's going on? And I was like, y'all don't understand. I'm trying to defend myself. And they're like, come, let's go to the office. And I'm like, okay. And so I go to the office with them, which I'm very reminiscent of school. I go to the office with them, and then they close the door and we sit down, and they're like, all right, tell us what happened. Because they loved me, because I was just cool with everybody. So it was just funny. They had to put up a front with everyone because it looked fucked up. But they knew me enough to know that I wasn't completely in the wrong. If it got to that level, it's not something that I would have instigated. I could have handled it differently had I been more mature.
Jessie, how old were you at this point?
14, 15. Yeah, 14, 15.
And you went to pick up a frying pan?
Yeah, I went to pick up a frying pan. Actually, funny enough, that's the only one I didn't get fired from.
So that's not even a firing.
That's not even part of the story.
That's not even a firing story. Yeah. That's just you just attacking someone. Defending. Sorry, let me put it out there. That was you defending yourself with a frying pan.
Yeah.
Were you always I'm the same as you at school. I was like reckless. I was just all over the place. My parents just thought I was naughty. I would like break windows. I would steal money Weird. I'm not even kidding. Like 4 years old.
Klepto?
Yeah. Yeah.
Klepto?
Yeah. I'm a kleptomaniac. You better watch your shit because it'll be gone by the end. But I used to steal so much stuff from I was like 4 and I used to steal money. I couldn't even use it.
No way.
And I used to hide it around the house. I used to steal like house keys. And I was like basically like, I don't know if you have it in the States, but in the UK, there's something called a magpie, which like they like shiny things.
My dad is like a magpie.
Oh, yeah, I like shiny things. I used to just take it
Yeah.
the whole time. But I then, because of all of that, I thought I was a naughty kid. And so then teenage years, I was just, I'm naughty.
Oh, you identified with it.
100%.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, it's terrible. So my question is, did you identify as a sort of reckless kid?
Mm-hmm.
Then how does that manifest in your life?
I mean, professionally, I've been able to alchemize it in a way that I found useful, where I could stand behind what I do because I'm authentic in my choices. And also it helps me swallow failure, because if I fuck up with it in a choice, it's my choice directly and I can live with it. If I'm fucking up and I'm making mistakes, but I'm trying to aim to someone else's perception of who they think I am, it's going to be a lot harder for me to swallow mistakes, you know? So if I'm fucking up on my own accord because I've been able to identify with being reckless and just being myself regardless of the consequences, it's easier for me to walk through, particularly the music industry, because it could get a little convoluted. I've been able to alchemize it now that I'm an adult, but younger it was a little bit more difficult because I would just, you end up in trouble and everyone kind of not shrugs their shoulders, but they're like, what do you expect? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like you have these like big emotions. Like I can feel it on you.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have these, how do you...
How do you?
Yeah. How do you live with such big emotions? How do you do it? How do you process them? How do you get through them? Because when you feel so much as a human, it's hard to move or get through people because you must feel people, relationships, you just feel.
Yeah. I create like vomit. I create like a river. I create like a volcano at peak. I create like a fucking waterfall. It just kind of comes out. And I thank God for that, because if I didn't, I think I'd fucking explode. I think I'd be dead, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, if I didn't have an outlet for it. And I've also learned to not self-soothe, but to know myself enough to be like, oh, I need to make and I need solitude. That's my medicine to calibrate the overstimulation of feeling too much.
So, because, if you look at someone like Amy Winehouse, right? She obviously felt as well. And that, ended so sadly. Mm-hmm. And I think when people feel a lot, because I think I've been in this bracket, right? When you feel and you don't understand it, that's when you kind of can lean into maybe like medicating and like drinking too much or whatever. So how do you make sure that doesn't happen?
I'm sober now.
Oh, hey, congrats.
Thank you.
Love that.
She said sadly.
No, that's amazing. Hey, Jessie, good on you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been almost 2 years.
Wow.
No liquor. More than 2. Yeah, the album release party. My album release party.
Come on, I love that.
Yeah.
How was that journey? I'm so interested in this space.
Well, I used to bartend for years. I've had a lot of jobs. I used to bartend for years. I was a bottle service girl for years too. And then when I started in the music industry, like when you work nightlife, you learn how to be drunk and have your fucking wits about you still. So I could count money drunk and I was okay. And it taught me how to function.
Yeah.
And then in studios, you're drinking. And then on days off, you're drinking. And then on show days, because you're nervous before you go on stage, you're drinking. And I noticed that it was a crutch. My family wasn't a fan of it. My exes weren't a fan of it. Shit, I wasn't a fan of it the next morning. Or the mornings after. Anyways, I wasn't a fan of it either, ultimately. I definitely miss it, though. There's moments where I miss it, like a mother.
But what was that moment? Because I think...
The last time I got drunk?
Yeah.
My album release party for Jessie.
Wow. What happened?
I got fucking torched. I'm grown. This is enough. Because my poor mom I started drinking so young. I got a whole bunch of older cousins.
Wow.
Yeah. And the first time they got me fucked up, I was 11 years old. Or 11, 12. That's the first time I got drunk. And then I started drinking in high school at like 14.
And it's fun to begin with.
Of course, it's so fun to begin with, but it's reckless. I'm surprised I didn't die. My mom's prayers have saved me from a lot. There's a lot of nights I could have fucking died, but I have really good friends that would drag my ass home. But that's what I mean. My poor mom has had to open that door and see me like that so often that when that happened, I was just the hangover lasted days, like 2-3 days. And my mom...
But anxiety or just hangover?
Yes, anxiety too, of course. Ugh. I said what to who? I was with, like, it's just ass. I was like, oh, this is enough. My body hates it. My body's rejecting it. I've done it for years. And luckily, my first sober show...
Okay, so you...
Because I used to, it was a must. I'd always take like 1 shot, 2 shots before the stage.
To get the buzz and the confidence and to get the nerves away?
Yeah. And so then I was able to like curb that. But I would still use it for life and studio. And then the album release party was just a fucking shit show. Nothing bad happened. I took it as a blessing, grace from God. And then I was like, this is enough. We should call it a day.
Walk me through it. So you woke up in the morning, you're like, I'm done. Yeah. This is it. I'm done.
Yeah. And then my mom, it's just embarrassing. You know, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And it's even more embarrassing when you have a mom like mine that tries to be understanding. Because then she's not even mad. She's just like, mija, like, esto es mucho, this is too much, like, you know, not angry. I don't know. She did great, though, because it served enough to get me to stop.
Do you miss it?
Yeah.
What do you miss about it?
You know when I miss it the most?
When?
I can have fun without it, which is great, because I know a lot of people can't.
Yeah.
I can have I could just have fun without it. I could dance. I'll dance all night, sober as shit. When I miss it the most is when life is hard. Fuck, do I miss it then? Oof. Cause you're just in the weeds and you're on your own. And it used to serve like a little life jacket, like a little donut for the moment even. Obviously it wasn't a solution that had any longevity, but at least for the moment, it was just a little bit of like, and now I don't have that. Now it's just breath work and prayer. Or working out or yoga or nature. It's something else, but nothing that has the like that mechanical as mechanical as an effect. Actually, there's one thing that kind of has a little bit of a mechanical effect, which is this thought technique, for lack of a better word, that I learned in The Power of Now, that just teaches you to observe what you're thinking and observe what you're feeling as opposed to feeling it. So you kind of take a step behind yourself.
Run me through that. Just give me an example. What do you mean?
Like right now, I just got emotional.
Yeah. And
I'm able to step back and see myself feel that as opposed to feeling it. It's almost like if your POV just got grabbed and just moved back. And it's nice because it unloads you. I'm not holding that weight anymore because I'm just watching it. And I understand that my thoughts aren't me and my feelings aren't me. I'm just the awareness. It's a little bit esoteric. The book does a better job of, I'm butchering it a little bit. But
no, you're not. I get it. But it's, I know what you mean. It's that reliable friend that gets you through those hard times.
Yeah.
But it's the easy option.
It is the easy option.
And feeling it. And you're getting emotional now because
it's hard.
It's hard, right?
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard when it's hard. But I'm happy I haven't broken when it's hard.
Don't break.
Yeah.
Don't.
No, I won't. I trust.
There's really close people in my life.
Yeah?
Yeah, real close.
Nice.
And it's hard, and it's hard, but it's an amazing thing because it changes your life for the better. And I flirted with it.
Yeah?
Yeah. My 20s were mad. Crazy. And I haven't really ever said this, I used alcohol really to numb everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would drink all the time. I would go to meetings drunk.
Me too.
Yeah, I'd take shots before I went into the meeting to make sure that I'd be okay because my anxiety was too high.
Yeah.
And it was not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
But then when also if I look at it sometimes as it's like it's a poison and it's this and that, and so there are so many other things in life that give us that excitement and that joy.
Yeah, you just have to find them. Makes you stronger too. Without it. Also,
the problem with you when you feel so much, when you put alcohol into that, you feel even more.
Oh my God! Let me tell you something. That's
like
what I don't miss. I'm so happy of not. There was so many calls that shouldn't have been made. So many conversations that shouldn't have been had. It's insane. It's insane. I should have deleted my ex's numbers. It would have saved me so much. It's crazy.
Josie, give it to me, because a lot of your songs, right,
Yeah.
are about heartbreak. You know, especially, you know, if you go back to your first song in like 2016, Figures, right, which blew up, went viral. What do you like in a relationship? And what do you like when heartbreak?
What do I like, or what am I like?
What are you like in a relationship?
What am I like now or then?
Let's give the past tense.
A ti-
And try and be, and listen, I'll be real with you. I will be as honest with you about me. So you just, what were you like?
A tyrant. A tyrant. A tyrant. But I wasn't healthy. How could I have loved someone healthy if I didn't even love myself? Like, but I was a fucking tyrant. I was very passionate and just making stupid decisions. There was relationships that should have ended within the first year. Trying to trust people that didn't want to be trusted is a joke. Loud, angry, passion, Latina, throwing things. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I don't miss that version of me at all.
But passion is a good thing sometimes.
It is. It's a great thing. Passion and liquor is it's a different monster. Yeah.
I can feel the energy with you now, right? Like it's the energy that I love. That's like a bouncy ball in a room, and trying to control that as a parent's quite a lot. So how do your parents control you?
People see us, like my parents come on tour with me. My parents are often at my crib. If I'm traveling, chances are they're traveling with me. That's gang. But people see that and assume that it was always like that, and it really wasn't. For like since I hit puberty, since 12, 13 till about 19, 20, we were at war. I ran away all the time. I lived with my aunt. I lived with boyfriends. I lived with like homegirls. I just had, we were just at war. And then my first time ever being depressed, I kind of went underground. And when I finally came up, I looked around and the only people that were legitimately there were my parents. And that was the first time that I woke up and I was like, oh, you've been a fucking asshole. And that was the first time that I also thought like, or you know, you have that realization when you get older, when you're like, oh, my parents are just humans. Like they're just doing their best. How could I have expected them to have done anything more than what they did? Because they were just doing what they could with the tools that they were given from the parents that they had, you know, which seems so normal. But everyone doesn't know that under a certain age. That's something that you only come to with age. So it's difficult for them. But now they're reaping the benefits because all I do is apologize and try to mend, or not make amends, but give them sufficient compensation for their years of suffering.
When was that moment that you suddenly realized that? Because that's always a big moment when you realize that your parents are just humans. They're not superheroes. They don't know everything. They're just working and figuring everything out as much as we are and you are and everyone in this room is.
It was a few things during those years. A few things. But trials and tribulations that you see their humanity. You see under their armor. Or they make choices that you wouldn't have. And then all of a sudden you think you might have had better judgment in that situation. That kind of that mind fucked me for a bit. Yeah, that mind fucked me for a bit. Great for ego.
Yeah. Great for
ego.
When did you know that you wanted to do music?
I was always doing shows around the house. So my mom knew before I did. Because before I was conscious of me, she saw it. Like I would just stand in front of the TV watching Pavarotti and then trying to sing his songs, and she saw it in me at like 3. There was this music school in the basement of the Pizza Hut at the corner mall, and she took me there, and she tried to put me in lessons, and the guy was like, no, she's too small, and my mom with her she did her best. She convinced him to take me on as a student, even though he kept saying no, I was too little. And my mom was like, I'll just pay her to come. It doesn't even if she doesn't retain it, I just want her to be here.
You're
and like
3
be
years
in the
old.
environment. Yeah. And my mom fought for that and convinced him. And then that's when I started piano lessons at 3. I wish I stuck it out because I'd be a great pianist now. Obviously things worked out pretty well though.
I think it worked all right.
Yeah, it worked out all right. But it would have been a nice additional skill to have honed in on
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Were you writing music then in your bedroom? Where were you writing your music?
Writing in my bedroom, I really started writing songs at like grade 5. How old are you? 10, 11 years old is when I started writing songs. But I didn't really write a good song until high school. And I'll never forget because I would, this is when the depression kind of started to hit, and I would um, not be able to stay in class because I'd be too emotional. And I'd end up skipping, and I'd go to the music room because the music room had a room inside with a piano and a guitar, and I could just hang out there. And my music teacher, Mr. Ladouceur, was one of the few teachers that were chill. But he would see that and let me hang out in there and call the other teachers and be like, she's in here. She's not skipping. She's still in school, but she's in here. So that would like, they'd kind of give me a bly. Anyways, my homegirl, Mona, who's one of my oldest best friends, she came into the room one day because I wasn't at lunch with them. And she was like, what are you doing? And I showed her a song I was working on, and she got emotional.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that. Yeah, because I was going through it, but it was the first time that I saw one of my songs move someone.
That's a big moment.
Yeah. I remember that very vividly. She's great. I love her. Her kid's my godson.
What was the song about?
Some motherfucking boy.
Seems like a
He's
theme.
a great guy too. He's great now too. He was young. How could I have expected more of him? He had underdeveloped frontal lobe. And
It's always his lobe, yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Jess, you mentioned the depression, right? Before, like you said it to me. Talk me through that, because I think, in my 20s, I suffered like severely with anxiety. But when it first kicked in, I didn't understand it. I didn't know what was going on. And I know people listening to this right now will probably be in the mix of something it is. So can you describe to me what your depression felt like and why you think it happened?
It was the first time that something that wasn't tangible, that wasn't material, had the capacity to physically hurt. That felt like fucking a dark magic because I didn't understand. Like, you feel like you've been stabbed, but there's no knife to take out. It's so fucking spooky. So that's what that was, which I'm sure anybody who's gone through it can relate.
That's such a good description.
It's fucked.
That's such a good. I've never even thought of it that way.
Mm.
You can't. Where's the pain coming from?
Yeah.
Why am I feeling this pain? Because
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
How old were you?
16, 17, when it really hit. 16, 17.
And because of a boy or because of what was going on in life?
A combination.
Mm.
Combination. I was a troubled kid, rebellious kid, and heartbreak didn't really help. Didn't have my brother around, and there was just a lot. There was a lot that contributed to it. Music really helped. Music really helped. Everyone around you who loves you is like, you're gonna get through it. Man, after the first heartbreak, it's just so funny. And if you're lucky enough to be with the love of your life and you happen to be high school sweethearts and you've never experienced this, goddamn, you should count your fucking blessings, because the way that there's this, it's almost comical, because when you get crushed, all of a sudden there's like, if you're lucky and you have a community of people, there's this like onslaught of heads that come around, and you're looking up and everyone's like, it happens to everybody. Oh, don't worry about this. Oh, there's more fish in the sea. Ah, this is normal. And everyone tries to convince you that it's like a norm. And it is, for a lot of people, a rite of passage, your first fucking heartbreak. But it's hard not to doubt what they're saying when they say you'll get through it, you're great, you deserve someone great. Because to you, I mean, for me at least, I received it like, oh, but you love me. You're speaking to me with bias. How do you know that I'm gonna be? How do you know that you don't fucking know? And you think I'm great because you love me. So I can't trust your word. So it felt like I couldn't even find comfort in their consolations. But when I heard comfort in music from someone objective that was able to detail the same pain, I was like, oh fuck, maybe I'm not alone. As a cliche, as cheesy as it is, but she made me feel not alone.
What was that song? Who's that artist?
Amy Winehouse. Back to Black hit like a bag of bricks. Yeah. But all her songs, like so many of her songs. But Back to Black hit like a ton of bricks.
Do you ever meet her?
I wish. No. In heaven. In the spirit world, maybe we'll jam together one day. But no, not in this life.
My friend, he just bought the house next to her old house.
No shit.
In North London.
Wow.
And what is so kind of beautiful, but is that the amount of people that come and graffiti and like write messages on the wall. And for the owners of the house, they're a bit like, can we stop doing this? Can we stop doing this? But also they respect that. What an incredible
legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is a legacy.
That's a legacy. Yeah.
Because you're huge on legacy.
I'm huge on legacy, yeah. I like it. I like it as a North Star.
Why? Explain that.
It makes life a bit more defined. Helps me make better choices. Helps me think of, I don't know, just making sure I could leave the world better than I found it somehow. I don't know, the people that, of course, making the people that love you proud, making the people that fucking sweat for you and sacrifice for you and were in the gutters with you proud, and making them happy and making sure everyone's cool. All that.
It's interesting with all the success you can get and all the fame, the money, the awards, whatever it is. That is not, that's fun, but that's not really what we kind of want in the end. What we want is to make the people that we love and care about proud of us. And like you said,
I want both for the record, but yeah. I want a little bit of both. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yes, you didn't mention that. So okay, so we want to.
But you're right. It's the core, the heart of it. The heart of it is the sentimentality. Yes.
Because I heard that all you want to do is you want to buy your dad a farm, and you want to set up an orphanage for your mum.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. The farm fucking came and went because I've been trying, and my dad's like, he's not, because I got to the point where I could. Thank God. I got to the point where I could, and I was like, all right. And we went to go look at, anyways, it's a long story, but ultimately he was like, I think I'm okay. I was like,
wait, why was he okay?
Because I got a spot up north that's like a lot more chill. It's right by the water. It's low maintenance. A farm is a lot. A farm, the way I want it to is like, I want some horses, I want some goats. Maybe someday still, but my drive to do it with urgency was for him, and he pretty much took his foot off the pedal and was like, you can chill. It's fine. I'm good.
What was your first breakup that you remember?
First breakup?
Your first heartbreak?
My first heartbreak, well, that was the depression one.
Was that the depression one?
Yeah, that's why I got fucking thrown into oblivion. Otherwise, it wouldn't have hit that much. But my first heartbreak came young. And that was my first love. And that shit rocked me. But
because you don't even understand it, do you?
You don't understand it. But so many good stories came from that. Because I was a maniac. And and shit happens how it's supposed to happen. It was more so, the craziest thing wasn't so much me in a relationship, it's me freshly out of it. That's the one that you shouldn't give the gun to.
Why?
Because she was nuts.
That's your passion. You can't help who you are. That's you're just authentically you, right? That's who it is.
But I'm much better now. I don't resort to violence. I don't.
I get that.
Yeah, much better now.
Talk to me about music, okay? Because I'm so with you where you say that, like, without being out of... But the reason... It's so funny you use that term. I swear to God, and Jemima can also vouch for this. The reason I started my sort of production company and do stuff for this is because I always say I want to vomit creativity into a bucket.
Oh, nice.
I have always said that. Because I need to get it out of me.
Get it out, yeah.
100%. And so with you with music, and you have collaborated with amazing people, and you have your new album. And
it's out, right? It'll be out when this comes.
It'll be out,
Faded Memories is out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. What is the difference between your music then and your music now?
I'm better. I'm a better musician, better artist. I sharpen my pencil. I sharpen my knife. I'm vocal coaches. I study music. I break down lyrics.
Come on.
Yeah, take piano lessons. I'm just better.
What do you think that's because of? Age, going sober, just life?
No, drive. My work ethic is just something that's innate, and my drive to actually maybe I'm sure it has to do with the self work I've done too. I'm just always in pursuit of greatness, always in pursuit of getting better, and there's always room for improvement.
There's a voice note from Sam Smith.
Yeah, there's a voice note from Sam Smith.
Talk to me about that.
I love them. I love them. Love the UK, man. Shit. I told them about some shit I was going through. And yeah, just honestly, it's just two friends talking and me sending them an update about some fuckery and them sending me back a very sobering consolation, which was nice. Sobering and it felt like a hug, you know, someone on your side.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Very pertinent to the song too. Like the song is exactly about the situation. I don't even know if I want to, well, whatever. Yep. Anyways, nothing. It's just fucked. It's a fucked up song, fucked up situation, fucked up story. But
you can tell me about it if you want.
No.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I tried.
Thanks. It's in the song.
Here we go, Jessie. And what's so funny is you're now getting emotional because you can feel it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Very surface. They're easily accessible.
You don't let go of emotions. You
Oh my God, I wish I could. I try.
It's like a drawer, like a present drawer, like of just these emotions that you keep. You can't. But that's a good thing as well, I think.
What do you mean a present drawer?
Well, I don't know why I described it like that. My mum always had a drawer which was like full of like.
Like
presents and things
I thought
like
you
that.
meant like a present drawer, like
oh
you're
no,
drawing presents.
no,
like,
like where you keep gifts and stuff like that. And
yeah.
And you have like a drawer of emotions that you just can't let go of.
Yeah, it's like a suitcase that I wish I could kick.
And that's why you have to write about it. You have to create because otherwise they don't get out. They just stay there.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's it.
Talks about Eminem.
A fucking legend.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh
legend.
my God.
A legend. It was a beautiful opportunity to be able to have not just made a song, not just made 2 songs, but like shot videos and
what?
Yeah, mad sick. Mad sick.
What would young Jessie say about that?
I remember being in the theater watching 8 Mile.
Yeah. I used to rap.
Yeah?
No, but I
Gifts?
I made some raps. But no, I used to rap Mockingbird the whole time. I'm almost tempted to do it, but I'm not gonna do it. But I've made some raps, yeah.
Everything's gonna be all right.
How should it?
Shit. Nice.
But wasn't it his daughter who found you?
Yeah. She's
this
great.
But tell me this. That's
she's Prego?
I heard this. I heard this. Yeah. But tell me, so what happened?
He had seen me on a late night show, thought it was dope. But then time passed. Like it was just like, I don't know if it was internal, but like, oh, she's sick. Cool. And then left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
And then months later, his daughter pretty much followed up on my behalf and was like, yo, Jessie's popping. She did it on a late night. Y'all should link. Y'all should create. She's dope. I'd like to imagine that that's how it was said. I don't know if that's how it was said verbatim.
That's exactly how it was said. Let's go. Yeah. Jessie, there's also one thing, because I know we don't have too much time, but I want to talk about it because I think it's important. You know, you being a woman in the industry as well, that's tough for lots of reasons, but you also had a moment where a producer tried to take advantage of you. Mm-hmm. And you spoke about it. Mm-hmm. Incredibly brave to do that and to be open about it. And when you spoke about it, you didn't mention any names because you didn't want to mention any names. And then what you realize is other people came out and spoke about that same person. What was that experience like for you when you could finally feel like you were brave enough to open up about what happened?
The first time without names, it felt very natural because I feel like I'm always forthright with my experiences. The only thing I really was hesitant with was the reaction my family was going to have, because I didn't want them to think that the worst case scenario didn't happen. It could have gotten way fucked, but the worst case scenario didn't happen that night. And I wanted to let them know, and also wanted to let them know that shit could be dark for a minute, because he was obviously in a position of power, had way more influence than I did. So shit could go left, but I needed to put the song out, and that they shouldn't worry about what it detailed, because what it detailed is what it was, and it didn't get didn't go to hell. After, when names started coming out and other women started coming forward, that was a difficult time, because when I made it, I was a lot younger, and didn't have like it. There's a lot of fear involved. So many people don't believe women. So many people don't believe women, or so many people immediately go to like, well, what was she wearing that night? Well, why were you out? Well, why were you like, just these fucking arguments that try to induce more doubt and judgment towards the victim as opposed to empathizing. So there was a lot of fear. But then when women came forward, it was even more difficult because that fear turned to guilt. Because I wish that I had been forthright with the name prior to, because then maybe certain situations could have been avoided after me. But what's fucked up is some of the women that came forward were prior to me, and some of the women that came forward were after me. So it had been happening. Not that justifies it, and also not that I'm trying to dump on my guilt, because I'm also hold space for myself, because I was like, you can't force someone to be ready for something that they don't have the strength to provide. And if I didn't have the strength to provide, and I also didn't want to make it about him either, because I wanted the song to just speak for itself and not it becomes less universal when you do that. But it's not mental gymnastics, but it's definitely a mental battlefield. It was a mental battlefield when that happened, because then it was like reliving it all over again, but now with another element of guilt, because it almost made me feel like I should have come forward about it sooner.
Yeah, but I think it's brave of you to come out and say that.
Thank
and
you.
that behavior needs to be called out 100%.
Yeah. Thank God. Ties have shifted, not completely, but ties have shifted where people are calling it out, where it's also not just women, where more men are allies, luckily, and more men are more forthright with calling it out when they see fucked up bitch ass behavior.
I want to say thank you, firstly.
Thanks for having me.
We like to end it with 8 quick fire questions.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
You ready for this?
Fuck yeah, I am.
This is going to be great. I can't wait.
Need for speed. Let's rage.
Here we go. What's a saying or phrase that makes you smile or cheers you up?
Hold these nuts. Facts.
Best compliment anyone's ever given you? Dig deep.
That I...
Come on, you can say it.
Wow, crazy.
You can't think of one.
I'm trying to think of the best. I'm trying to think of the one that like shook me. I'm trying to think of one that stood, and I'm also trying to like weigh out.
Give me a few you're thinking.
A few I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. One was that I'm really like astute when it comes to giving someone advice. Like, I'm really fucking good for it. And it's so funny because I wish I could take my own so often. But when someone else's life is laid out in front of me, I could see, I just have clarity. I have a lot of, I'm gifted with clarity. And it's been nice to hear that multiple times from people where they're like, fuck, you give great fucking advice and direction for choices. Another one has been on my creativity. Yeah. Just really, really good connection to wherever it comes from and how fast it can come and how good my retention is, because I have a really good memory when it comes to like, I don't like writing songs down anymore. I just go. You just go? Just go.
Well, I saw it. Does Lil Wayne does that as well. Yeah, he just does it.
Jigga does that.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What scares you most about yourself?
Jesus Christ.
I know it's a big one, but what does? What scares you most about yourself?
My depths.
Big.
Yeah. My depth of love, my depth of hate, my depths.
Great one. When was the last time you cried?
Fucking right now. Talk about whiskey.
What's something you can't let go of?
Grudges. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's okay.
I got a shit list I'm gonna die with.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Just kidding. No, wait a minute. I can let go.
Okay.
What's something I can't let go of?
Can't let go of, yeah.
What's something I can't let go of? Alone time. Solitude. I can't let go of solitude. Yeah. What's
your guilty pleasure?
Cartoons.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I love South Park. Loves Bob's Burgers so much.
Yeah. What turns you off?
Lack of eye contact. Immediate no. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Immediate no.
What turns you on?
Eye contact. Intelligence. And heightened awareness, when someone can pick up details.
What do you like most about yourself?
My brain.
That's great. One more. If a young woman is listening to this right now and you're her inspiration and she's getting into the industry, what advice would you give her?
Fail faster. Don't be scared of trying new things. find out where your weaknesses are. Try to make friends that are just as apt as you and as hungry as you. And also figure out where you want to aim. Learn to objectively criticize yourself. Put yourself in situations where you're constantly getting criticized so that your skin can get thicker. Because if you're more successful, it's going to be more eyes. More eyes mean more criticisms. And if those criticisms get to you, you're going to break. So just put yourself in situations where you have rejection therapy, where you can smile when someone critiques you, and it's your choice whether or not you want to take it constructively or whether or not you want to dash it and be like, no thanks, asshole. And make sure that you're also cognizant of the state of your soul and the state of your peace, because to achieve so much success but have lost that is fucking worthless. You got to make sure that's intact so you can actually enjoy what you're working for.
Let's go. Jessie, this has been amazing. Final one, favorite swear word, give it to me.
Fuck.
Let's go. Jessie, you've been the greatest. I really appreciate you've been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you. That's
Jessie,
funny.
the greatest.
Yeah, man,
That was